Whoa, check it out. I'm here, but I'm also here. So, Dempsey, who wanted these videos just like old times posted on YouTube, you're getting one. So, let's talk about year 10. And I just want to go over kind of the stuff that we heard about from everybody this year and over the years as we've talked, and talk about an idea for year 10. So, that's our agenda. Talking about the original every 5 year bucket list ideas, what I've heard from everyone, your feedback, both when we're in person talking about this stuff and through email. I wanted to go over the bucket list locations that was submitted by everybody. I think I caught everything. If I missed some, I'm sorry. You could just let me know. And then I want to get into my idea for year 10. So here we go. What was the original bucket list idea? So we came up with this a while back, and it was to hit premier golf destinations and courses. The benefit of it, saying it's every 5 years, is both financial planning and schedule planning. So, hey, I know I might need to take off a little bit more time for this trip, or I need to save a little bit more money for that year's trip. So there's an expectation of it, and everybody can work around it if you don't want to miss those. Um, and also another part of it is that these kind of premier golf destinations, they book out years in advance. Some of these places we'll talk about are you have to book 2-3 years in advance, and just requires a lot of planning. So let's see. Discussion points. So let's get into this. So we talked about the bucket list idea back in year 2. That was Myrtle Beach. And, what we've kind of found over the last couple of years talking about it, of course, our first one got screwed up because of COVID and we had to push Kiowa back. But, what we talked about is some people in the group care about golf more than others, which is great. And it's okay that some don't. So, the thought being, if someone is in that camp where they don't care about golf as much as others, is it fair to ask someone to pay a lot of money when golf's not their priority and the location's not their priority? They care about something different, just everybody being together or being in a house, or they care just about the location and wanted to go somewhere different or somewhere new or going to bars or whatever it is, eating Indian food, vomiting, going to get some port, or maybe you're one of those people that love all of those things. But is it fair to ask someone to pay that money? And I completely understand that point. Everybody's got their different priorities, and I think, not this is going to blow anyone's mind, but there is no perfect trip for these bucket list ideas. There's no perfect trip any of the years. And no matter what, everybody's going to have to make some compromises. Hopefully they're small ones, but every location there's going to be compromises. So thinking about now what was submitted, here's a compilation of what was submitted. I tried to divide it up. It's not perfect categories, but East Coast, West Coast, central part of the country, and then international destinations. So, nothing on here that's terribly, shocking. Some things are new. The Rodeo Dunes is one that I put on there that hasn't even been technically created yet. They started about a year ago. I don't remember who submitted this one to me, but someone just wrote mountains, so I added that in there. But you've got a really good, diverse group of locations here. Some of them are more about the golf. And I would say a lot of them are about the golf more than the location. But there's really a good group here. So, we've got a lot of bucket lists coming up. But here's what I wanted to say. This is my proposal for year 10. And remember, we still have to figure out year 9, which hopefully will be Minnesota, and heading up to Cad's in-laws place. And if it's not, we'll reshuffle and we'll figure something out. But here is my idea to kind of thread the needle for year 10. St. George's, Utah, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see by the beautiful photos that I selected and the automatic design work by PowerPoint, how well this has worked out. So here's the idea and structure of the trip. 4 or 5 nights, fly into Las Vegas, rent cars, and drive up to St. George's, Utah. It's about a 2-hour drive right up the interstate. It's a straight shot. St. George's is a beautiful area of Utah, definitely a golf destination. scenic courses, and it's at elevation. So in the summertime, it won't be as hot. It'll still be hot. It will still be very hot, but it won't be quite as hot as Vegas would be. So you go up to St. George's, you stay there for 1 or 2 nights, play 2 rounds of golf. Then you head back to Vegas for another 2 days. Play around there at a fancy Vegas course, maybe 2 rounds for those that want to. We pick a really prime hotel on the strip that's really centrally located, thinking like the Bellagio or something like that. Get a bunch of rooms, and then we do whatever we want: sports books, bars, nice dinners, tables, blackjack, craps, whatever we want to do. And that's the idea for the trip. And, you know, to me, here are your pros and cons. To me, this one threads the needle um, in that you've got the best of both worlds. You're getting great golf, and you're satisfying those that really love the fun, the nightlife, all that stuff. I mean, I don't know what other chance, justification, or reason we've had to all for the 10 of us to go to Vegas together, and that just sounds awesome. Uh, you know, I think from the pro side, everybody's got multiple nonstop flights to Vegas from their airport, except maybe Gibbons, but you chose to live there. So that's on you. And in theory, you could fly yourself. It's an easy place to rent cars. If we want to rent cars at St. George's, it's one of the easiest places in the world to do that. You've got great golf, plenty of options for food. If we want to go back to Vegas, play a little bit more golf. Some people can play, some people can't. That's fine. And like I said, it's just an excuse for a guy's trip to Vegas. I mean, unless one of us gets divorced, remarried, and has another bachelor party, uh, you know, I don't think we're going to Vegas, but like, are you really gonna do Vegas for your second wedding? I don't know. It's kind of douchey. Here in the negatives, it's gonna be hot as hell if we go in August. So golf would just need to be earlier in the day. So just some early wake up calls and some, warmer end of the rounds. I think it's tough to do a house because you're going to 2 locations with short stays. Uh, so it's just gonna be hard to rent a house for that many days. So I think you're ending up with hotels, although I think in Vegas that's a good thing and it's preferred. You're gonna have some people that may stay out till 1 in the morning and some people that stay out till 5 in the morning. So, maybe bunking up with someone who's more on your schedule is probably a good idea. Uh, I think there's an argument too to just do Vegas and not even worry about going to St. George's. If we did that, we wouldn't have to rent cars. We can just take Ubers anywhere we needed to go. And, I think the downside of that is that obviously it's going to be really hot and Vegas golf is just really pricey. So it could end up being a little less expensive to rent the cars and go to St. George's and get some great views and some great golf up there. And obviously there's a significant risk that we would lose Bruce. But, I think some people might put that on either side. I look at it as a con. So there you have it for my year 10 idea. Again, the perfect bucket list trip, it does not exist. Uh, we just, everybody's got different priorities, whether it's finances, whether it's where they want to stay, where they want to golf. Everybody's got a different opinion. And like I said, that's great. And so I'm trying to thread the needle here. I think at some point, um, as we get to year 15, 20, we might have to splinter these trips for the bucket list. I do think going over to Scotland and Ireland is another one that I think everybody would want to do because it hits those that are the golf purists and those that just that want to go. Um, I know it's a little bit difficult to plan if everybody's not golfing every round, but I think that's there. But eventually, if guys want to go to places like Bandon um, or Cape Breton, where literally you're in an isolated area and it's all about the golf. I don't think it's fair to force people to doing that. So maybe we do have to splinter off those years. But this idea for year 10, I think, tries to thread that needle of balancing, great golf with uh, a great location and fun activities and kind of everybody being together. And like I said, I think a trip for the 10 of us going to Vegas is just be awesome. So anyway, I will sign off and take your questions off air. Thanks for listening to my charade here, and I welcome your questions.